Welcome to an extended Channel 4 News at noon. We're expecting the result of the Conservative leadership election any second now. Jeremy Hunt or Boris Johnson will become leader in tomorrow. This is the hall where all the Tory faithful are gathered, waiting for this tremendous moment, because obviously whoever becomes leader of the Conservative Party in this contest, a contest involving 160,000 Tory members who are voters, whoever becomes leader will become Prime Minister tomorrow. That's the way it happens. Now, Jeremy Hunt and Boris Johnson are there. The Boris Johnson blonde-haired tribe are there. We've got the father, we've got the son, and we've got the brother. And indeed, I think we've got the sister. So that is the full Johnson tribe that is going to be present here for these extraordinary moments. Now, out here on the lawn in front of the House of Lords, the House of Commons, we've got a helicopter overhead, we've got crowds below, and we've got the media in a really big deal. I mean, there's a whole load of them here from all over the world. You wouldn't think the rest of the world would be particularly interested, but they are. They really like a circus when it comes to town, and a political circus is like none other. So it's going incredibly well. Paul McNamara, our political correspondent, is with me now, and Anne Milton, formerly an education minister, who has just resigned. You can't have it hotter than that.
You can't have it hotter than that in
many
ways. I abstained last week on the votes on the prorogation of Parliament. I felt it was the right thing to do. I'm keen to support the next Prime Minister.
Are you a Huntist? From
the backbenches, I was supporting Jeremy Hunt, absolutely. We've yet to see the results.
Can he win?
It is possible.
And Milton, stay optimistic, you stay here, and let's just talk to our political correspondent, Paul McNamara. Paul, what's cooking?
Well, I think the speculation now is who else is going to be joining Anne. So, Tory party favourite game is rampant speculation. There's speculation about who's going to be joining Boris Johnson in that cabinet. But the big talk for the past week or so has been who else is going to resign when Boris Johnson is announced.
Let's hold that thought, because Anne Milton, do you think it possible that Boris Johnson has the capacity to build a broad tent and indeed bring in a whole lot of Huntists, including the Hunt himself?
I hope so. And, I've gone to the backbenches because I abstained last week. I'm keen to support the Prime Minister. I do have strong feelings about leaving the EU. I don't think we should leave without a deal. But I sincerely hope that Boris Johnson or Jeremy Hunt, whoever it is, will be able to build that broad coalition that we need.
Now, what would you say would be a definitive victory? Does whoever wins have to win by, let's say, 25%?
I wouldn't make predictions like that. I think if I was going to
win's a win.
A win's a win, but I think it will be closer than people expect.
Now, we expect, in using that word, this result any minute. I was told probably about 4 minutes past 12. I think it's just about that now, but there's no sign of it yet. Everybody's in the hall still. Whoops, there goes a cheer I heard. I don't know what it was for, but it wasn't that. It wasn't that. But there is cheering going on here, and we don't know quite why. We're still waiting for the result of a contest which involves two men, Jeremy Hunt and Boris Johnson. There's a lot of applause going on. I would really like to know what's going on. Of course, it's very strange times down here, because we are talking in a Brexit moment when there are flags everywhere, there are protesters everywhere, there are joyous people everywhere. We don't really know what's cooking in that dimension, given that there's applause down there and some cheering. However, go for it.
Well, I suppose you've just touched on it there. How big will the win be? Now, there's a lot of talk in
let's go live. Here's the result. Here's the result. Here.
I, Dame Cheryl Gillan, the Joint Returning Officer for the Conservative and Unionist Party leadership election, declare that the total number of eligible electors was 159,320. The turnout in the election was 87.4%. The total number of ballot papers rejected was 509. And the total number of votes given to each candidate was as follows: Jeremy Hunt, 46,656. Boris Johnson, 92,153. And therefore, I give notice that Boris Johnson is elected as the leader of the Conservative and Unionist Party.
Well, there you have Jeremy Hunt cheering the new leader of the Conservative Party, a very good moment in the sense that there was some degree of union in that moment. Here is Boris Johnson. There he goes.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, everybody. Good morning. Okay, right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, Charles. Thank you very much, Brandon, for a fantastically well-organised campaign. I think it did a lot of credit, as Brandon has just said, to our party, to our values, and to our ideals. But I want to begin by thanking my opponent, Jeremy, by common consent, an absolutely formidable campaigner and a great leader and a great politician. Jeremy, in the course of 20 hustings, 20 hustings or husting-style events, it was more than 3,000 miles, by the way, it was about 7,000 miles that we did crisscrossing the country. You've been friendly, you've been good-natured, you've been a font of excellent ideas, all of which I propose to steal forthwith. And above all, I want to thank our outgoing leader, Theresa May, for her extraordinary service to this party and to this country. It was a privilege. It was a privilege to serve in her cabinet and to see the passion and determination that she brought to the many causes that are her legacy, from equal pay for men and women to tackling the problems of mental health and racial discrimination in the criminal justice system. Thank you, Theresa. Thank you. And I want to thank all of you here today, and obviously everybody in the Conservative Party, for your hard work, for your campaigning, for your public spirit, and obviously for the extraordinary honour and privilege that you have just conferred on me. And I know that there will be people around the place who will question the wisdom of your decision. And there may even be some people here who still wonder quite what they have done. And I would just point out to you that, of course, no one party, no one person has a monopoly of wisdom. But if you look at the history of the last 200 years of this party's existence, you will see that it is we Conservatives who have had the best insights, I think, into human nature, and in the best insights into how to manage the jostling sets of instincts in the human heart. And time and again, it is to us that the people of this country have turned to get that balance right, between the instincts to own your own house, your own home, to earn and spend your own money, to look after your own family, good instincts, proper instincts, noble instincts, and the equally noble instinct to share and to give everyone a fair chance in life, and to look after the poorest and the neediest, and to build a great society. And on the whole, in the last 200 years, it is we Conservatives who have understood best how to encourage those instincts to work together in harmony to promote the good of the whole country. And today, at this pivotal moment in our history, we again have to reconcile two sets of instincts, two noble sets of instincts, between the deep desire for friendship and free trade and mutual support in security and defence between Britain and our European partners, and the simultaneous desire, equally deep and heartfelt, for democratic self-government in this country. And of course, there are some people who say that they're irreconcilable, and it just can't be done. And indeed, I read in my Financial Times this morning, devoted reader that I am. Seriously, it's a great British brand. I read in my Financial Times this morning that there are no incoming leader has ever faced such a daunting set of circumstances, it said. Well, I look at you this morning and I ask myself, do you look daunted? Do you feel daunted? I don't think you look remotely daunted to me. And I think that we know that we can do it, and that the people of this country are trusting in us to do it, and we know that we will do do it. And we know the mantra of the campaign that has just gone by. In case you've forgotten it, you probably have. So it is deliver Brexit, unite the country and defeat Jeremy Corbyn. And that is what we're going to do. We're going to defeat Jeremy Corbyn. And I know some wag has already pointed out that deliver, unite and defeat was not the perfect acronym for an election campaign, since unfortunately it spells dud. But they forgot the final E, my friends, E for energize. And I say to all the doubters, dude, we are going to energize.
Energised, we leave Boris Johnson, the new Conservative leader, defeating his rival Jeremy Hunt by almost 2-to-1 votes. He's expected to see the Queen tomorrow afternoon, and he'll be Prime Minister in Downing Street by tomorrow evening. That's the news. We're back tonight, 7 o'clock. Don't, for goodness sake, miss it. That's Channel 4 News.
Fantastic full fibre broadband sprouting in every household. We are going to unite this amazing country and we are going to take it forward. And I thank you all very much for the incredible honour that you have just done me. I will work flat out from now on with my team that I will build, I hope, in the next few days to repay your confidence. But in the meantime, the campaign is over and the work begins. Thank you all very much.